If you want to get a high paying internship right now, what do you need to do? So, first of all, let me tell you that I've seen a lot of videos on this topic and there are some bad advice floating out there. So, be very careful of what you follow. And of course, internships are a pretty great thing for your career. And the best case scenario, you can get a PPO. But even if you don't get a PPO, it'll still help you in your placements. Because if you have you and you have someone else who doesn't have an internship, then you will get a little bit of priority. Because you've already experienced what it's like working in a company, what it's like dealing with code bases, running actual code, and of course, you have a bit more experience. So internship is something that is pretty much, nothing to lose, everything to gain kind of thing. So you should of course go for an internship if you can. But many people say that do DSA, do development, and internship mil jayega. But hardly anyone talks about how to get there. And in the current market scenario, what I have seen majority of people do, they open LinkedIn or some job portal and they go there, they see a opening, they click apply, they send off their resume, and the next day they are met with a rejection email. And the reason for this is a very brutal truth, and I've talked about this in my previous video as well. But this is basically a lottery game, or you can say a numbers game, because they have thousands and thousands of applications and they don't go through all of them. What they do, they select 10 or 15, they go through them and they select the best one out of that and then call them for interviews. So obviously, if you're directly applying over job portals, then you're basically, picking out a lottery number and waiting to win, which is not the best thing for you to do right now, not in this current market scenario. So you might ask, then what do I need to do? How do I get an internship? So let me talk about something which is called proof of work. What is proof of work? So let's say that you're learning something. Let's say you're learning full stack web development or development. Then what you need to do is you need to bring that learning in public. And you might have heard of this learning in public. So what you need to do, go on a place like LinkedIn or Twitter and make a post. Make a post like I'm learning XYZ technology and I've learned this feature and I've implemented this feature and I'm making this project. And you can explain a bit about your project. Then after a few days, make another post that I have implemented this feature in my project, I've learned this, and my project stays like this right now. And you can even show off a clip of your project, how it's working right now. Likewise, after a few days, again, make a post that my project is halfway completed, I've implemented these features, I've made these pages, and this is how it is like right now. When you make posts like this, people are going to notice you and people are going to start to, remember you, even if it's a little bit, but people are going to see your post and remember that, okay, this guy is doing something. Likewise, if you're doing DSA, when you go on lead code and give contest, you can, show off your rank. You can say that I attended this lead code XYZ number contest. This is my rank, and these are the problems I solved, and these are my approaches to the problem. I've seen a lot of people do that. Once you do that, people are going to see, okay, this is someone who's doing DSA and he's good at DSA or he's, decent in DSA. So people are going to start to remember you based on your post. Likewise, if you're doing open source, if you're doing hackathon, you can make posts about it. What you learned, what you're learning, what you're working on, things like that. This is basically building proof of work, because obviously, like I mentioned, directly applying on the job portals is not going to help you. So you have to take help of your network, and for that to happen, you need to build trust in your network, meaning the people in your network need to have trust in your skills, that you actually know something, you're actually learning something, and you're actually working on something. So networking, I believe, is sooner done the better. So even if you're in first year, second year, start sending connection request to everyone you know, start sending connection request to your seniors of your college, start sending connection request to the people of the company that you want to work in, employees of your dream company. And once you make connection request, those people will be able to see your post and those people will be able to notice you. And this is going to help you in getting referral. And referral is a far better chance than just directly applying. So let me tell you an example of this. I have a friend who's working in IBM ISDL and he had a requirement in his team. Like he had an internship requirement in the team that he was working in. So what he did, he reached out to his LinkedIn connections and there was a guy that he knew was working good and he was doing learning in public. So he knew him. What he did, he asked for his resume, got his resume, they liked the resume, they sent off the resume directly to the manager. And within a week, he was able to get an interview scheduled for him, and eventually he even got the role. So something like this can only happen when people who refer you have trust on your skills. So you need to build this trust, and you can do this by building proof of work. So while networking, make sure that you reach out to people, make sure that you engage with them, So if someone makes a post, you can make a comment on that post, you can message people time to time, you can ask people for help. If you're learning something and you see that the other people has mastery over it, you can even ask them a doubt, and you can ask them for help. So even doing that, the person knows that what you're working on, and of course that means that they're going to notice what you're working on and are going to remember you. Now the final thing that I want to talk about is actually doing the work. Now let me tell you very honestly, people in first year, second year and third year don't focus that much on coding, projects, DSA, anything. And only in fourth year or late third year, people get a wake up call and start preparing for interviews. So if you start soon and you start doing all of these things, then definitely it'll put you way ahead of other people who are not doing anything. So you need to actually put in the work, be sincere, and learn, because obviously you cannot fake learning in public. People will catch it easily. So you need to actually put in the work. So if you're doing DSA, do it properly. Learn the relevant things, be good at DSA, give lead code contest, and then showcase that. Likewise, if you're learning development, then learn it properly, build a really cool project, treat it passionately, and then showcase that on a place like LinkedIn. So you need to actually put in the work. And I highly suggest that you do something extra. So what does extra mean? So you can do something like a hackathon. You can go for hackathons. You can, try to win hackathons. You can do GSOC, you can do open source, and try to go for GSOC. You can try to go for ICPC by being good in computer programming. So you can try to do something extra, and this extra will do a great job of putting you ahead of people, or having that edge over other candidates who are applying or may apply for the same role even in the future, even in placements apart from internships. So yeah, definitely, if you put in the work, if you follow what I said, then 110% it will be very easy for you to get a high paying internship. Whether it's in a startup or whether it's in a FANG company, it will be very easy for you. So yeah, that's pretty much it. If you watched it till the end, and if you want me to take a look over your LinkedIn profile and make some suggestions, then I'll give my LinkedIn in the description. You can DM me on there. I'll have a look at your LinkedIn profile for free and try to give you suggestions if I can, if there's anything missing. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching.